Welcome to Two Bottles Deep. We're a podcast where we venture into the world armed with humor, sarcasm, and a willingness to admit when we're wrong. Well, most of the time.
And our goal is to have open and honest conversations while we discuss topics that affect us as humans and as gay men.
And thank you so much for listening. And now it's time to get Two Bottles Deep. Hello, Wes.
Philip Hedricks.
How are you, babe? I'm back, baby.
And better than ever.
I'm looking amazing. I did a skincare routine last night.
What was
I
that?
did 2 face masks.
One on top each other?
No, I did one and I was like, I still don't look as good as I think I could. I did the second one. I was like, now you look greasy. So I apologize if I'm,
That's okay.
glistening.
You're good.
How are you, babe?
I went to Lush and got everything in Lush. It looks like candy,
Yeah.
like those soap bombs and stuff. But I did get a facial mask thing.
You don't
And
look a day over 50.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
so sweet. It was 49. So it was working. It's working. And then when I go out, I've washed real good. And then I'm like, do I still have some on? Because, I get the coffee one. So it's got the grains.
Then
and
you
I'm
find a grain.
There's one in my beard. Yeah.
It's
I'm
coffee.
in the shower for 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, it's got to be out. But speaking of great skincare, we got to jump into today's guest.
Yes, we do.
Can I start it off?
I would love for you to.
Okay. So I started following this guy on Instagram. Y'all have to check out Behind Tyler's Chair. And his stories have brought so many laughs to my day. I've not met him. I follow him. He's amazing. And when I saw more and more content, I'm like, wow, this guy has some talent.
Yeah, Tyler is a celebrity hairstylist here in Nashville, and he is crushing the game from celebrity clients to a killer online presence. He is an amazing individual. We're very happy to have him here.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's bring in the celeb stylist, Tyler Chase Bishop.
Woo! Oh, wow. The crowd is wild.
You're not seeing this, Tyler.
Yeah,
though.
Tyler, there's at least 4 people standing right now. How are you, babe?
Good. How are you?
Good. Nice to officially meet you.
It's Sunday, so I can't wait to have fun.
Right? Aren't
The
we
one
already?
day. The one day we have fun.
That's
Well,
right.
I am so the stuff you post, and we'll get into why we're talking a little bit later, but it just cracks me up. It's funny. And like, I've never heard your voice. I've never I just see your content and it still made me laugh. Some people you have to hear their sarcasm and stuff, but your stuff makes me laugh. So thank you for bringing light to my life.
Yeah. So first of all, how did you end up here? How'd you end up in Nashville? And did you always know you wanted to be a hairstylist?
I knew I wanted to do hair from a very young age. I was doing it, I think I was like 13 or 14 when I started. And I literally had my bedroom set up as like a salon. And I would do like prom or homecoming or pageant hair and makeup. And I'd make the parents like wait in my parents' living room, like a wait.
Regular salon at the house.
So I knew I wanted to do it from a really young age. I grew up in Arkansas, born and raised. I moved when I was like 23. So I'm only 24.
So 1 year here.
Yeah, my parents were like the age old, like, you're never going to make money if you don't go to college. You don't need to be a hairstylist. You're going to be on a fixed income the rest of your life. And
I guess people didn't do that in Arkansas, right?
No, they do now, but I think social media has really changed the game for hairstylists, probably a lot like anybody in the beauty and aesthetics industry. Yeah. But yeah, so I moved to Florida. I met my mentor there. I graduated from hair school in Arkansas, and I was there for like 6 months, and I was like,
Can't do it.
So then I moved to Florida, and I was there for, I think, 3.5 or 4 years. And then I thought that I wanted to do like Fashion Week and travel all over the world and do like big, like high-end photo shoots for like magazines and Vogue. And I did one Fashion Week and it was horrid. It's just not what it seems. It's like, I want it to be like fun. I like to laugh, and it's like very serious. There's like a totem pole and they treat everybody like crap, or the people that I was around did. And it was just it wasn't for me. So I kind of switched gears and wanted to move to Nashville. So I did. And that's kind of how I got my start in music and all that.
Okay. So what was the draw to Nashville, music, or was it to be a stylist to the stars?
No, I do not sing. God, you don't want me to sing. I sing when everybody's ready to go.
Yeah. They'll clear the room, right? Me
Yeah,
and you
bartender's
should
like,
karaoke.
you're up.
We'll clear out the bar.
But no, I wanted to be a hairstylist. And I love doing everything. I love styling. I love blonding. I love cutting. There's not like one specific thing that I like more than anything else. And I am very ADD. So I feel like if I do one specific thing, I'll get bored. So I love that I get to do kind of a myriad of things in the hair industry. But yeah, it was to build a clientele in Nashville. It was a bigger city. I knew that there was going to be more opportunity. And to start with like TV and movies and music. And I'm from Arkansas, so I was a lot closer to my family.
But so Tyler, you don't show up in Nashville with a client, right?
No.
So, and you don't just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm going to start cutting famous people's hair."
Yeah.
So what do you just cut one person's hair, you post a picture, and then and word of mouth? Like, how do you grow something
It was difficult
like that?
I will say this was probably the toughest move of my life. For like, I would say 2 years, I was like getting food from like food banks and stuff like that. Like I lived in like the cheapest apartment studio that I could find. And I was like barely getting by. My parents were helping me, you know, if I needed like $300 or $400 for rent, or if I needed to pay my car. I was always doing that. Like, if I could pay rent, I wouldn't pay my car payment this month. And
Wow.
yeah, so it was not easy.
It's almost like the singer-songwriter dream when you come here, because it's a very
Call it a
similar
10-year town for a reason.
in your
Oh, yeah.
town. Same with that. So how long did it take you to build that clientele?
I've been here for 7 years, so I would say 5.
Okay.
No kidding.
5 is when it started. And it took me about 3.5 or 4 years just to get a full clientele. And I was a go-getter, so I would work 6 or 7 days a week. Even when I was in Florida as an assistant, I was working at Olive Garden 2 nights a week, and then doubles on the weekend, and then I would work 5 to 6 days a week behind the chair.
Oh.
So I was a go-getter. But yeah, one of the best things that I thought of, because I'm always like trying to think of like how I can like build a clientele and get my name out there, is when I would have a really good client that I just gelled with in the chair really well. Like people generally hang out with like people, whether that's people in their neighborhood or in their friend group. So I would put my name or their name on the back of one of my cards, and I would give them 3 of them and tell them for every 2 cards that come back, I'll give them a free haircut.
Oh, well, that's a nice move.
So it wasn't like 10% off. It was more enticing because it's something that they A, would need eventually, and B, would pay for anyway. So I was basically asking them to promote me, not for free, but it was going to be mutually beneficial. And when I started doing that, that really helped me build.
Tyler, what was the moment? I remember in my career, there was a moment where I kind of realized, and when I say made it, I don't mean like famous or anything, but like you realize, okay, I'm in this career. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. Do you remember, was there a specific moment where you're like, I'm in Nashville, I've landed this, you know, I've built this career? Was there a certain client or a certain moment that happened?
Yes, a couple. Obviously, again, from Arkansas, I grew up listening to country music. So I had a friend that was a stylist that at the time was working with Rascal Flatts.
Okay.
And he was either sick or out of town, like last minute for something, and they needed their hair done. So I got to do that. And that was like a big moment for me. And then another one was one of my clients that I work with constantly now is Sarah Evans. So
Sarah Bear, who has a gay sister and is a big ally to our community.
I didn't know she had a gay sister.
Oh yeah, I saw her. There was a thing for Thistle Farms during CMA Fest, and she made a great LGBT speech and all this. I'm like, oh my God, she's from a small town in Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's so fun. And walking into, you know, the Rascal Flatts room, like you're doing all 3 of their hair.
So I only colored it for that. They did their own hair because
Okay.
to, I think it was Good Morning America. Ironically, I did their hair for them to say that they're breaking up.
Was it after you did their hair, or
Yeah.
Like
you're
just
like, I don't know, we
Yeah.
can't do this.
like just
So
tag
I cut Jodon's hair, and then I cut and colored Gary LaVox's hair.
Gary.
Okay.
What a great
Yeah.
voice. What a great voice. Wait,
Yeah.
so who cuts your hair?
Okay, so as a hairstylist, I never get my hair done. So that's why I'm wearing hats all the time right now, because I feel like I look like a truck driving lesbian. Sorry, lesbians.
Wait, so yeah, I
You
feel
just like, are you just like in the mirror? This one, you're
Yeah.
like, get rid of that piece.
Like literally, I look like a chia pet. Like,
oh no, you have great hair. You kidding?
Yeah.
It's
but
great.
yeah, I get it done like probably like every 4 to 5 months. So I'll get it like buzzed completely off or like super faded down, and then I let it grow.
Let it grow.
Yeah.
Let it grow. I was always curious, people who are really good at hair.
You know
Yeah.
what? I've completely skipped over something. And can we go back in time
Let's
for
go
just a
back.
moment, Tyler? So you grew up in Arkansas. I just realized, like, coming out in Arkansas, I'm going to assume that if you've got a salon in your bedroom and you're doing hair for prom, someone in the family's like,
Oh yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
So
Follow-up
had you come
question.
out?
I had
As-
not.
Like, that was you coming out, right? The salon in your
Yeah.
bedroom.
I left little hints.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Subtle.
that little, but
Yeah.
well, how was that process? How was coming out? Did you come out in Arkansas, or did you wait till you moved?
I did. It was awful. I did not have a great or even a good experience growing up in Arkansas, which is why I'm so vocal and just really don't care now. And I remember, I think fourth grade is when my like bullying started. My nickname, which was given to me by 2 boys in school that were a year older than me, was Tampon Tyler. Couldn't tell you how to use one.
Right.
You know,
Didn't know what it was.
yeah, but it rhymed and it was funny. And we were just in an area and in an era where they had anti-bullying signs up because of me, but nothing was ever done because like the teachers, most of them, not all of them, and the staff, I believe, like through their religious beliefs, kind of like push that off to the side and let the kids bully me. I remember I had one teacher when I was like crying to her, it was 5th grade. I told her that I was going to tell my mom that she didn't do anything. And she told me that she would tell my mom that I was a bad student in school, which was scary. It was just like, but I remember 5th or 6th grade is when I started having to get like a hall pass to go to the office because they were the only men in the school. To get one of either the principal or the assistant principal to take me to the bathroom so that I wouldn't get like bullied or jumped in the bathroom. And I wouldn't get beat up. It was really just bullying. Like if I was peeing at the urinal, they would like push me into the urinal.
Yeah.
Or if I was in a stall, they would like rattle the door and go on both sides of the stall and beat on the stall doors or try and pour something over the top. It was not really physical. It was stuff like that all the time.
Wow. So nothing was ever done.
No, my parents would come to school and it would be kids will be kids, boys will be boys. Let them work it out. Did he really hear that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that getting called whatever the name is for an extensive period of time is probably more harmful than getting beat up once in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like the bullying kind of like honed in the way you see the world? Or because you made a comment like, I just say what I want to now. I'm vocal and all that.
Yeah.
To me, bullying kind of made me a little bit edgy. Like I was a little like always willing to throw a jab at somebody because I just assumed somebody was coming for me. And then I had to soften that a bit. How did bullying affect you and professionally and then throughout your personal life?
A lot. I feel like, I mean, I'm about to be 33. I feel like I'm just now like turning a corner on that same thing that you just said. I had a really sharp tongue for a really long time. Like any little thing that would happen, especially at work, people that weren't my friends, that I would, because salons are so catty. The salon that I worked at in Florida was so catty. And the owners were great. They're still friends of mine. But you know, I was like the new kid on the block, and I was good coming in. I just had raw talent. I wasn't good. So I got things faster, and I picked up on things faster, and I got clientele faster. And there were people there that weren't senior stylists, but they were like in the middle that just went through that. And that it was almost like everybody had to be put through a gauntlet.
Mhm.
And I did not allow that.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I had to learn how to like let things go.
Yeah, I guess if you're good, then is it a jealousy thing? Like if you're
Probably.
bringing certain clients in and you're just naturally picking it up rather than being supportive, there may be just this little bit of jealousy.
Yeah, it became that I wasn't nice to them, but the reason why I wasn't nice was because they started it, but I didn't finish it, and I did.
Right.
It's so interesting in the adult world. We see that, don't we?
Mhm.
We see that cattiness when
Yeah.
when it seems in theory it's so long to support each other and get along and
Mhm.
congrats on your big clients and oh my god, you're crushing it in your chair over there. But there may be a little bit of I don't know the
Well,
word.
it's jealousy, but there's also like everybody has a it's like
Right.
Tyler, you know, if you didn't know that Tyler had been bullied and called all these names his entire life, then you meet him once and you're like, why is he why is his tongue so sharp? Why is he doing that? Is he just well, but you don't know the history of Tyler. And I think that's where a lot of gay people get that, you know, gay people are, you know, they'll read you for filth, they'll do this. Some of
Right.
that's learned behavior because we have to defend ourselves. Like
Yeah.
you got to be able to cut
Yeah.
back quickly and you can cut deep and that'll shut them down and they'll give you a minute to run. Type.
Yeah.
I think as gay men, we're trained for that because
Yeah.
of exactly your experience. That's what we want people to know is kind of that backstory. But about the bullying, you had a post,
Oh yeah.
and this is really why I'm like, I really want to talk to this guy and meet this guy because your bullies now follow you, and you got that blue check mark. So
Yeah.
take me through that Insta story and that post that you did.
This this was like a one-time bullying situation. It wasn't somebody that I like went to school with. But her daughter played basketball at a rival school, basically like BA and you know some other school, Ravenwood. It's like we're real close.
Mhm.
And we were in a small town, and her mother was ironically worked with speech therapy and special needs children at that rival school. Her daughter was a basketball player there, and I had done. God, I don't want to give too much information. It's going to get people in trouble. I done a couple people's hair, and they were on the basketball team with her daughter. And the mother had called her daughter, and the daughter put her on speaker. And I don't know if they had just gotten out of practice. A lot of the basketball girls were together at their gym before they came to my school to play. And the daughter had her mom on speaker, and she said, "Well, I guess Tampon Tyler's going to be at the game tonight."
Oh.
So
Ooh.
those girls called me and told me what the mom said. So I called my mom and told her, and my mom was waiting on her at the gym.
Oh, fun.
For a little just a little tit for
chat.
tat type
A little
situation.
picnic.
Yeah, I remember my mom like hollering her name until she finally came up there, and then she confronted her about it. And I also remember my mom telling her that she needs to remember that she was a cheerleader in school and my mom was an athlete.
Ooh.
Oh,
Shut
get
her
it, Mom.
down.
Get it, Mom.
Yeah,
So has she reached out? Is she
not
just
at all.
following your success? What
I
is
honestly
this?
don't think that they saw my story because I was watching to see if they saw the story. It was so random. I was actually on my way to Atlanta because that's like I love to go to Atlanta at least once a month. One of my best friends lives there, and that's where I can go have fun.
Yes.
But I was on my way to Atlanta, and I was all about to be at my friend's house, and I was looking through Instagram, and I saw that she had followed me, and I was like, surely this cannot be. Because this was like a Bible thumper. They thought that they were like better than everyone else. We had ran into them multiple times at like restaurants or in Walmart over the years. Because this happened, mind you, I was still in school and I graduated 2010. So this is years ago.
Mhm.
So over the years we ran into them and they literally like
Ignore.
Mhm.
talk to us, won't say hi, not anything. So it was just so crazy that she followed me. How she followed me or found me, I don't know, because they're still in that small town.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
I'm assuming she may have watched the old RNC. I heard you were up at the Republican National Convention doing.
I bet you did.
Right.
I
saw your post. I was like, what? Is he doing hair there?
What
What?
time is his speech?
Mhm. Yeah. So
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I have
Mhm.
one of my best friends is Savannah Chrisley. And we were very open about our political views. I am staunchly liberal. I am a Dem. I am a what they would call a snowflake, and I wear it proudly.
Are you woke?
And she is not. She's conservative. I can say that because she's been very vocal about her views. And none of them have anything to do with the LGBTQ community. I think where sometimes it gets sticky is like when we talk about voting for people like that, what that means for me.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have those conversations and we're open and honest. And I feel like our friend group is very good about everybody kind of believes differently. Like I'm not personally religious, but they are, and they don't judge me for that, and I don't judge them. So we've had a really good relationship. So she got the opportunity to speak on the main stage at RNC. I know that was like a big deal for her, and I travel all the time with her to do her hair, and we just travel as friends as well. So I wasn't gonna not do her hair because it wasn't something that I personally supported or believed.
Sure.
Because I was supporting a friend going and doing something that she wanted to do. And so I did, but I drew the line in the sand where I was not going. So normally, like I'll go with my clients and like I tease their hair or do retouches or anything that I need to do, like finishing touches before they walk on stage. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
You do it in a hotel room and then just watch the TV and see how it looks.
You're like, oh, missed a spot. No, she did. She looked great. I watched her speech. Love her or hate her, love the RNC or hate the RNC. I mean, she gave a great speech, or a lot of great speeches that week, I thought. And I think I wanted to navigate this with you because there's so many people that lose relationships with their friends and family over who you vote for. And I still think we all have more in common than we don't. So how has that been? Did you guys kind of sit down and be like, let's have a talk. We're on totally opposite sides. How would this work? Like when
we
you
talked before, but we haven't actually talked recently. And I'm sure that those conversations will come up. It was actually really tough for me to be there. I did not think it would be hard because I wasn't going. But I just had this like sense of, it kind of brought me back to like childhood and like being bullied and knowing that I'm sitting in a room full of people that don't wish good things for me or don't want me to have basic rights that they have, whether it be marriage or adoption or so to like be back in that space in such a vitriolic time was rough.
Yeah, kind of brought some stuff back.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I think it's hard to think about, but like everybody that was at the RNC, not everybody has the exact same beliefs. So
right.
There are some people in that room that are okay with me and you and Tyler doing whatever we want to do. But there are also some people.
I just want to be clear on that.
Oh yeah. But you know, like if you have a room full of 100 people and you're like, well, not everybody's going to hate you. There's going to be some people in the RNC that do. But I agree with Tyler too. It's like, why put yourself in a situation or you know, potentially, even if it's just the way you're putting yourself, like I can't be here, I can't be here. That's not helpful either. So I probably would have done the same thing, Tyler. I would have done hair and stayed in the room and ordered room service.
Yeah,
we're gone out.
So that's a memorable moment. Are there any other memorable moments from your career that kind of stick out at you?
A lot of I started doing the Chrisleys hair like 4 years ago, I think. And it was when her best friend Chad kind of started venturing into real estate because he was doing all of their hair. And so Chad and I are friends. We're still friends. I love Chad. So I kind of just snuck in when he either couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. And then over time, like when he got busier with real estate, because now he's like knocking it out of the park.
Literally just saw him the other day for the
Yeah.
first time in 5 years and told him I was going to talk to you.
I love Chad.
Yeah, I wondered how that kind of works. I knew he did their hair. So
And
good for you. It's a great opportunity.
He's in my phone as Chatty Daddy.
Chatty Daddy.
Chad with 2 D's, I call him.
But no, I started doing their hair, and I will honestly say, I mean, I love all of my clients. But they treated me right off the bat better than any other client that I had had at that time. I mean, almost like parents. So I really kind of attached myself to them, and just over time, when you're around somebody for so long, like you just become like family, and that's how Savannah and I became. And so, long-winded answer is, we've taken multiple trips together, and we always have the best time. And it's kind of weird because I'm older than both of the kids. But Savannah and I have the same exact birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And my middle name is Chase, which is her brother.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Weird. It's like small world, but no, we've been to New York multiple times. We've been to the Caymans. We've been to LA. And even though there is like work sprinkled in, we have an amazing time.
Yeah. I've seen you do some people's hair, and I've also seen their political beliefs with certain other celebrities that are very right wing. So I always just wondered, I don't want to bring their names up, but I always just wondered how that worked, because I'm like, okay, they're the don't tread on our kids people.
Mm-hmm.
Then I know they have gays in their life. And I know that's separate. You can have one issue with the left, and it's like, okay, I want to hear about marriage, but you can be married and still be friends with us. But I've seen a few of your clients. I'm like, oh, I'm glad there's a friendship there. I'm glad there's a relationship there. I have a lot of Republican friends, and they're really to the point of, we don't care what y'all do. I vote right because of this.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like the trans stuff's in the news. So I think that's one of the big things, because I think 5-year-olds are having surgery, and it's not true.
Right.
But 5-year-olds are not having surgery.
Exactly. But I've seen that, and I've always respected you and those friendships just from what I see online.
Yeah. I feel like, and this probably came from me talking about like how I don't care anymore. And so there are a lot of like old school stylists that it's like, don't post any of your political beliefs, don't post anything controversial. And I'm like, screw that. I'm not doing that. Like, if you can have an opinion, so can I. We can still coexist and be friends. And I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Brittany Aldean. Brittany and Jason Aldean.
Yep.
And have you ever met her?
No.
Okay. So I understand like her political beliefs, and obviously we don't believe politically mostly at all in together. But she has always been the absolute nicest human being to me. And I've consistently and constantly seen her be so kind to other people, whether it's friends or somebody brought somebody over to their house that she didn't know, or just in any situation that I've ever been in. I've met her mother. I've met, Jason multiple times, and they've always been extremely welcoming. They invited me to a pool party at their house. I think it was like 2 years ago. And I wore like 5-inch Versace shorts and paraded around the whole time, and never had an ounce of problems. Everybody was so kind. And so it just, I know that how she's perceived on social media. And I know a lot of that is her political beliefs, but I can stand firm in she's always been extremely kind to me and has continued to be kind to me, even after I posted all the things that I posted, what I believe on social media. We still follow each other. We've never had an argument, and they have always been so welcoming.
It's such a great lesson to see that you can be totally different on opposite ends of the aisle and still have a barbecue, still have a pool party, still have a friendship. And we see this too in Nashville. You see the behind the scenes, what I guess maybe a normal fan wouldn't see.
Yeah.
It's like you see people out at dinner and you're like, they're
Yeah.
friends. Like, you know, you're at El Fuego up the scene, you see these two people, and it's like, oh, I didn't think they liked each other. But
Yeah.
it's this perception that we have online. And it's fine they have their views. We've talked about Brittany before on our show about it was the don't tread on our kids, and I think the trans
the
thing,
tomboy,
the tomboy thing. And it's like, okay, she has a right to an opinion, but you know, there were thoughts in my head. I'm like, oh, that I don't know if I'd have put that out there, but she's also Brittany Aldean. And I think a lot of it too is I think we have to post certain stuff. Not that she's trying to stay relevant, because they have a great career. And I've always thought they were probably pretty good people. You know, Morgan Wallen, there's all this, there's just the headlines that make it.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great lesson to get to know someone beyond a post or beyond a quote or beyond just one article.
Yeah, I think it is a great lesson, because it also shows that kind of like what media puts out, they grab like sound bites of like things that they say, but they don't know how they live their life on a day-to-day basis. And I've seen that, not in a normal amount of time like I would Savannah. Like, I don't go to their house and hang out, but the times that I have been there, they have been consistently welcoming. They're very hospitable, and they're just like inherently kind.
I think that goes back to, it's so easy to judge people you don't know.
Yeah.
Once you get to know somebody, even if they don't agree with you 100%, you know, Tyler sees the good in a human and is able to be around somebody who doesn't agree with him 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that all the time. I do it at work. I'm sure you do it at
natural
work,
thing.
where I know people I'm treating. I'm like, I know what they believe, but I like them as a person.
Right. For example, like, we've all been around straight men that we can tell they're very uncomfortable, and they don't want to say anything, or they're like nice, but they don't talk to you. And he's not like that at all. Like, the moment that I got there, I don't even know how he remembered me, because I had done her hair like twice. But he came up, gave me a hug, asked me if I wanted anything to drink, welcomed me to the house. Like, he's always been that way.
Yeah.
And so is she.
Very cool. That's so great. So I have a question. You have all these big clients. Do they ever try to set you up? And follow-up question for Tyler in Nashville.
Yes, I feel like I've had all of my clients long enough for them to know the answer is no.
Not even a maybe?
No. My old saying was, you're probably gonna have to bleep this out, but whenever I think I've got somebody for you, I'd be like, I'd rather masturbate with straight razors.
We will not edit that out. That might be our soundbite, actually.
Yeah, I like that.
You'll never believe what Tyler said. Oh, so yeah, I was wondering, because we all have the straight friends that are like, you know, Bob, he's gay.
Yeah.
We would love for you two to meet.
Yeah. And it's like, that's what I try and explain to most of my straight friends and clients that try and set us up. They're like, he's gay and you're gay. I just
Perfect.
I'm like, that's like putting two feral cats in a bag and being like, y'all have fun.
How's dating been? How's dating life been since you've been in Nashville?
I have actually not dated at all. That's not true. There was a guy that I dated. I went on like 2 or 3 dates with this guy multiple times, but I just wasn't ready. I had a really horrible experience with an ex in Florida. And I had not dated since then. So I've not had a boyfriend since 2014. So 10 years.
Dang.
All right, Nashville, are you hearing this?
Yeah.
An eligible bachelor here.
I actually just started on Facebook dating because I thought that was like the safest place to date.
How's that going? No.
It's a train wreck.
Okay.
From the look.
All right, moving on.
What's your favorite color?
Right. What's a safe subject?
Yeah, it's just not. It's not.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes, dating stuff everywhere, I think, right now.
Yeah.
People like the they want to see you match, and then it's that dopamine hit like we get on Instagram and Facebook, the likes, the comments.
Yeah.
It's almost the same like that.
You ever gone back and looked at your like old Tinder conversations?
Yeah.
I did that the other day. I was looking back and I was like, I would have like very intense conversation for 2 days. And I'm like going deep in. I'm like telling about, you know, why I cry. It's like, and then nothing. Like 2 years done. I'm like, that's all it was. Most of these Tinder things or Hinge things, it's like, I really like you. Nice to meet you too. Let's talk intense. And then it's like, all right, peace.
I tend to also like want to date somebody that's older than me because I feel like I'm like an old soul, and a lot of like the younger people I just can't connect with.
Yeah.
Everything's very like surface level. And there was somebody that I was talking to on Facebook, like, I don't know, it was like a week ago. And he was like, I think 28. And we've been talking for like 3 or 4 days. So I was like, okay, good conversation. I was like, why don't we go on a date? And he was like, what did he say? I like to get to know somebody before I go on a first date with them. So why don't we just keep talking here? And I'm like, is that not the point of a first date?
What was the date then?
Like, hello, come in.
The date's an engagement.
I'd like to talk for 2 months before.
I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, right. You.
Yeah. Our rule is like, you got to meet. What's your rule? How long are you going to talk before you meet? What's your max?
Well,
a week. A week.
Yeah, mine's a week or two. Then I want to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're out of town or super hot.
I guess that depends on the app.
Right. If they're really hot, I'll talk to you for a year and then I'll meet you.
We'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Tyler, what's the most annoying thing somebody does in the chair? Or what's an example of something annoying that you're just like, punch them?
They're either on their phone and like, I'm trying to like place the foil intricately on the back of your head. And they turn around to talk to you. And I'm like,
oh, yeah. Like, I'm working back here.
I'll literally, after the second time that they do that, I'll like move their head back.
Do they not make anything that like secures the head? You can just like screw it in.
I wish.
Yeah.
I just hit them with my comb. Yep.
And then
like,
they get
stop
used.
moving.
You train them, right? They know
Yeah.
if they're sitting in your chair.
Yeah.
Don't and you got scissors and clippers. I'm not going to make any quick movements. You know.
You would know that.
This is another burning question I've had. What is your Olive Garden order? If we went to Olive Garden right now, what are you getting?
You know, I worked at Olive Garden.
Yes, that's why I'm bringing it up, because ever since you mentioned it, I'm like thinking about the breadsticks and the all-you-can-eat salad.
Yeah.
What's your Olive Garden order?
So I actually likes to get the breadsticks right out of the oven because they're soft. And this is so gross, but I actually liked to dip them in a ramekin of the salad dressing.
Yes.
Ooh,
that's what's up right there. I've always said, Tyler, if I ever get married, there's going to be several things at the wedding besides a miracle. I'm going to have them pass out fresh, warm Olive Garden breadsticks on the dance floor. Can you think of anything better than just dancing the night away? You've got a warm breadstick.
Yeah. And you need that at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
You need that. Absolutely.
And I love their Zuppa Toscana soup.
I've not been to the OG in
a
long time.
There's one up from the clinic, and I go every couple of weeks just because I get tired of, bringing protein bowls, Taco Bell. So yeah, a lasagna. I do the lunch lasagna and an entire bowl of salad.
And now it makes me want to go back to Olive Garden.
Yeah, maybe we do brunch there.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Do they have bottomless mimosas at Olive Garden?
Sunday fun day.
Right?
Let's party.
Pictures of sangrias.
Oh, yeah. Anybody inspire, as we wrap up here, anybody that's aspiring to do what you do, what's a piece of advice that comes to your mind right now?
I got mine through word of mouth. So it's cliche to say work really hard, but like the little nugget that I gave about putting your clients' names on the back of a card. How I got recognized was I did a blogger's hair that was doing a photo shoot at the mall. And so her and her husband's picture was all over the mall on anything that was like not open yet. And so somebody saw that, they lived in the same neighborhood as them, asked who did their hair. And then that person ended up having the same manager as somebody else. And so it just kind of trickled in that way. But as long as you're like in the right avenue and doing what you're supposed to do, it will come.
I like that. It does come down to working really hard, having integrity, doing the right thing. And it sounds like you've done that. And that word of mouth.
And he put the work in. It's not like he went to Florida and did 1 year and all of a sudden he's cutting, Brittany Aldean's hair.
Yeah, you just Kids out there, just meet one famous person and it's your
Right. It's all you got to do. Meet one celebrity.
Yeah, like if you want to work in music, then go to somewhere like Atlanta or Nashville and go to record labels and, tell them that you're new in town and you would love to do hair and comp it. I did a lot of free stuff at the beginning, and I don't now, because I feel like that's like a respect thing between clients. So I charge all of my celebrities. They don't get free hair just because they have a blue check and millions of followers. But yeah, I did a lot of comp stuff, but there's so many places that you can go where you're not like knocking on somebody's door and being like, I want to do your hair. And you getting your name out there. And then when you start to work with artists, that artist may say, yeah, my hairstylist sucks, or my hairstylist just moved away, and then you start doing their hair.
There's so much opportunity, but you have to be present.
Yeah,
you have to be out there
and consistent.
At those consistent's a good word. Maybe that's my word for next year.
Oh God, are you going to tattoo it on your low back?
Yeah, I could. What was my one that one year? Like walk or something?
It was awful.
Tyler, I don't have New Year's resolutions. I just pick a word to follow every year. One year was
you can roll your eyes, Tyler. Roll your eyes, please.
1 year was commitment. I did not commit to the gym at all.
No,
maybe that's this year.
But that was your word.
I just started going to the gym. I hate it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going to start next year or the year after.
Yeah, that's
just
a good
J1 of 2026 is kind of my gym time.
Tyler, this was so great. You were so fun.
Yeah, how do we find you, by the way? And can anybody get their hair cut by you, or like what?
Yeah, I'm behind the chair. I'm behind the chair 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the first Saturday of every month. So I'm at Green Pea Salon. They have a West location and a 12 South location, and I'm at the West. I have my own website where you can fill out a new client form, and it's just the same as my Instagram, Behind Tyler's Chair, but it's just .com. I think it's actually .site now.
It is .site. I wrote it down.
Yes, it's
Behind Tyler's Chair .site, and on the Instagram Behind Tyler's Chair. You have to follow.
Yeah, go give him a follow. Yes. It's great content. I actually took a deep dive. I was like, why am I looking at like every picture of hair? I'm like, oh, like that. I really like that style. That's beautiful.
On your website, and I think it's a true testament to who you are, and it's just an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you guys. I feel like I'm blessed with tons of friends. I just happen to like do their hair.
Yeah. Well, it's it's like therapy, right? You're talking the whole time. You're getting to know people. It's kind of like my job. I feel like I know my patients really well because you talk all day and people open up about everything, as you know.
Right.
More than you want to know. And you're like, I'm just doing your hair. Don't care about your husband cheating.
Right. Well, Tyler, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. And if you want to get in touch with him, we've got behindtylerschair.site is his website, www.behindtylerschair.site, and he's on Instagram. Go give him a follow. If you've got any questions or concerns, reach out to us at 2bottlesdeep@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for listening, Wes.
All right. Love you, Phil.
Love you too, babe.
See you next time.
Bye, babe.
Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of 2 Bottles Deep. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a crazy show idea, email us at 2bottlesdeep@gmail.com or hit us up on the old Instagram.
And we really do appreciate you listening to today's show. And when you get the chance, go back and listen to our other episodes, because Lord knows you have nothing better to do.